In the high-speed, high-pressure world of professional basketball, few stories embody grit, loyalty, and quiet strength quite like Lexie Hull. She's not the loudest voice in the room, she's not always the headline name, but when the lights dim and the game turns brutal, she's the one who bleeds for her team. Literally.
Lexie Hull's journey begins at Stanford University, where she and her twin sister Lacey became one of the most beloved duos in college basketball. On and off the court, the two shared everything: training, triumphs, even the pressure of perfection. But when the WNBA came calling, life changed. Suddenly, Lexie was no longer one half of a duo. She was on her own. The Indiana Fever drafted her in 2022, and what should have been a dream come true quickly turned into a reality check. The professional game wasn't just tougher, it was lonelier. Gone were the familiar faces, the built-in support system, and the comforting sense of belonging she'd had at Stanford. The transition was rocky. Lexie struggled with confidence. If I miss a shot, she told interviewers, I could get benched, or worse, cut. Every possession felt like a test. Every minute a fight for survival. The Fever weren't winning. The team was rebuilding, and patience was running thin. For Lexie, it was a baptism by fire, one that tested not just her skills, but her identity as an athlete. By the time the 2025 season rolled around, Lexie Hull was battle-hardened. In one stretch alone, she took an elbow to the face against the Minnesota Lynx, collided head-first with Gabby Williams of the Seattle Storm, and still suited up the next game. Her face was swollen, her lips split, and her eyes blackened, but she refused to sit out. I've played through worse, she told reporters, smiling through bruises. If I can be out there, I'll be out there. Her toughness became a symbol of the Fever's resilience. The team was plagued by injuries, losing star veterans like DeWanna Bonner early in the season, followed by a cascade of season-ending setbacks. Caitlin Clark, Sydney Colson, Aria McDonald, Sophie Cunningham, all sidelined. The Fever's roster ballooned to 16 players, held together by emergency hardship contracts and sheer willpower. And through it all, Lexie Hull stood firm, the connective tissue holding the team together. She wasn't the flashiest player, she wasn't the star attraction, but she was the beating heart.
When DeWanna Bonner, a veteran champion and one of Hull's idols, abruptly left the team, the loss cut deep. For Lexie, Bonner represented experience, wisdom, and a role model in her own position. Her sudden departure, without explanation, left the team shaken. I was excited to learn from her, Lexie admitted. Then she was just gone. No one told us why. It could have fractured the locker room, but instead it welded the Fever together. The message was simple: we're all we've got. That shared hardship became their bond. The Fever became a family forged in adversity, one that refused to quit no matter how many times they were knocked down. By the end of the season, the Fever defied every prediction, clawing their way through the playoffs and forcing the reigning champions, the Las Vegas Aces, into a grueling overtime in Game 5 of the semifinals. They didn't win the title that night, but they earned something arguably greater: respect.
With success came resentment. Across the league, whispers began to circulate. The Fever are media darlings. They didn't earn it. They just ride Caitlin Clark's fame. Lexie Hull heard it all. There's definitely jealousy, she admitted. Other teams don't like the attention we get, but that's okay. It means we're doing something right. She understood the psychology of competition. When everyone wants to beat you, it's because they finally have to take you seriously. And Lexie relished that challenge. Let them come for us, she said. If teams play their hardest against the Fever, it raises the whole league's level. Everyone wins. Beyond the court, Lexie Hull is more than an athlete. She's an advocate, a voice for fairness and equality in the WNBA. As an alternate player representative for the Women's National Basketball Players Association, she's been fighting for better pay, resources, and respect. The WNBA has come a long way, but the battle for equality continues. Hull knows that for the league to thrive, its players must be united, even when they're fierce rivals on game day. You don't have to like everyone, she said, but you can still respect them. You can still fight for what's right together. Her leadership isn't loud or flashy. It's grounded in empathy. She understands that what happens off the court affects what happens on it, and she's determined to make the next generation of players feel supported in ways she didn't when she first entered the league.
Lexie Hull holds a rare perspective in today's game. She's played alongside two of the most polarizing figures in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark with the Fever and Angel Reese during Unrivaled's inaugural championship. Both players are icons and lightning rods for fan debates. Online, the discourse often turns toxic, pitting players and fan bases against each other. Lexie sees things differently. Everyone I've played with is a good person, she insists. Fans don't always see that. They just see the drama, not the human beings. She admits it's hard not to read the comments sometimes. Social media can be cruel, especially toward women athletes who dare to show emotion, passion, or confidence. I get it, she said. You can have your favorites, but you don't need to tear others down. That's where it crosses the line. It's a message she lives by. Lexie Hull doesn't fuel rivalries, she diffuses them.
Lexie Hull's nickname among teammates is Ride or Die. It's not hard to see why. When she steps on the court, she gives everything. Her energy, her body, her blood if necessary. She's the player who dives into the scorer's table for a loose ball, the one who sprints back on defense after a missed shot, the one who cheers the loudest for her teammates when she's on the bench. Her loyalty runs deep, not just to the game, but to the people who share the grind. I'll put my body on the line, she says. If you wear the same jersey as me, I've got you, no matter what. That's not just talk. It's her philosophy, her identity. For Lexie Hull, basketball is more than a career. It's a platform. She uses it to inspire young athletes who feel overlooked, to remind them that heart matters as much as hype. Her story isn't about being the star. It's about being the glue. She's the embodiment of resilience, the player who gets knocked down and stands right back up, the one who turns setbacks into motivation. Her name might not always top the highlight reels, but among her teammates and fans, she represents something rarer: authenticity. In an era obsessed with stats and social media metrics, Lexie Hull reminds us what sports are really about: teamwork, toughness, and heart.
Lexie Hull's story isn't a Hollywood fairy tale. It's a real one. It's about a young woman who walked into the WNBA uncertain of her place, and through sheer resilience, carved one out. It's about loyalty in an age of quick trades and fleeting fame. It's about standing tall when you're underestimated and smiling through black eyes when the world counts you out. She may never be the loudest voice or the flashiest star, but she'll always be the one you want beside you when the game's on the line. Because Lexie Hull isn't just a player. She's the Fever's ride or die.